will actually segue right into the Argylle review right now as soon as I very quickly pull up the synopsis. All right, 2024 Argylle, directed by Matthew Vaughn. Reclusive author Ellie Conway writes a best-selling espionage novel about a secret agent named Argylle who's on a mission to unravel a global spy syndicate. However, when the plots of her book start to mirror the covert actions of a real-life spy organization, the line between fiction and reality begins to blur. I saw this last night, and I'm going to start. This shit's ass, man. This is so bad. So bad. Fuck you for killing off Dua Lipa in the first 5. Sorry, that might be a spoiler, but it's the first 5 minutes, and it's also a fake book. Doesn't matter. Fuck you for killing off Dua Lipa in the first 5 minutes, Matthew Vaughn. Like, miss. What a miss. The Play More Dua Lipa tweet last night was like, I was like, this is an all-time tweet right here. It wasn't, but that's fine.
That's the worst. I remember I tweeted out like last week, like a clip of a first line. I'm like, what's your favorite first line ever? I was like, please people let this catch on so I can get ideas for first line trivia without having to do work on my own. Got no quotes. I'm like, fuck, I guess I'll have to keep searching these up on my own.
Hell yeah. But yeah, just what a people didn't find it as bad as me, so I'm probably in the minority here. I think I'm gonna land on like a 23 out of 100, like one star. I really didn't like it. Every single twist just pissed me off more than the last. They were all stupid. None of them were inventive. Seth tweeted it, spoiled the movie for me, but discussing film spoiled movies 3 years ago when it was released, which is fine, but I didn't know who.
But also once the movie, like, it's interesting because once the movie starts, like, I mean, we both knew going into it what the twist would be, but I feel like they made the twist so obvious before it happened.
Yeah, they did.
But again, like, maybe it's like, you know.
But their whole marketing plan was who is the real Agent Argylle, which we need to talk about the reveal because I don't think I've ever been more mad at a movie's reveal.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my like quick thoughts real quick because I think this is a movie like we just want to dive right.
It's a
lot
like
of
spoilers.
Talk.
It's a lot of spoilers. Here's what I'll say on quick thoughts. Action is bad. We talked about it last week. We talked about it in our real quick patron review of Terminator 2. Live by the 3, analogy. Die by the 3. Yeah. Live by action, die by action. This action stunk. You're dying by the action, and you don't have good enough characters in your movie to actually make me give a shit about any of them. That was a spoiler point, so I won't say that. Fuck it. Bad movie. Just who cares? Go watch it if you want, but just a bad movie in my humble opinion. Tyler, give your
I'm going to keep this super quick because I think it is a more fun movie to talk about with spoilers and kind of rip into. But honestly, for me, the first first off, this movie has no business touching 2.5 hours. It's like 2 hours 19 minutes, unbelievably long,
insane.
So I watched it in theaters. So actually, for the first hour and a half, I was kind of shocked. Like, I was like, I'm surprised people are rating it like super low. Like, I was having a good time with the first act. I was like, okay, I'm in. Like, this is fine. I'm excited to see where this goes. Second act starts to lose me. Third act, to say it goes off the rails would be putting it too lightly. But genuinely, like halfway through the movie, I was like, I'm probably going to land at like 2.5 or something. Like, I don't really see why people are rating this super low. And then the third act just brings it to a place that I just didn't really think a movie could go in terms of dragging it down so badly. But yeah, for kind of what Cam was saying, like about like the whole book thing, like John Cena, Henry Argylle, or Henry Cavill, fuck. That's what's bad. That's when you know your Superman days. You're kind of washed at this point. If I'm calling your name Henry Argylle, Henry Cavill, you might have to.
Did you just call him Henry Argylle?
Yeah, he might have. I mean, his career might be a little at this point. I think James.
We'll talk more about him later, and maybe it'll be more positive.
Yeah, we'll talk about him later. But yeah, I think the cast I actually had fun with. Sam Rockwell, I thought was a lot.
I like Sam Rockwell. I like Sam Rockwell.
Bryce Dallas Howard, I like her. Dua Lipa's Dua Lipa. Let's see. Oh, and then I guess last quick thought before we get into spoilers, I'll say Ariana, who's back of the week. People saying Ariana DeBose isn't a singer because she's now been in 2 movies in 2024, ISS and Argylle, that are very bad movies where she doesn't sing in either. So need a movie like Wish to come out again to remind people that you are a brilliant actress, brilliant singer. But yeah, Argylle, 1.5 star for me. Again, like I said, first act I was in, I enjoyed it. Second act fell off the rails a little bit, still was in though. And then third act was just complete collapse, but like halfway through, I was kind of shocked at all the low, like the crazy low scores. I thought it was kind of mid, but by the end of it, I was like, yeah, this movie it stinks.
I want to change my official review. I take back everything I said to say Argylle is an absolute blast from start to finish. Matthew Vaughn ditches the blood and violence for color-filled action sequences. Instead, Henry Cavill is so damn charming as is Sam Rockwell, but it is incredible Bryce Dallas Howard who steals the show. Can we also talk about how refreshing it is to see a beautiful curvy woman in a role like this? Argylle is destined to become a cult classic.
Please actually put that as your review. That's fine.
Great way to kick off 2023.
Please put that
All-time
as your review
tweet from an actual
Actual
movie
critic.
reviewer.
Yeah.
Like how could you tweet that, you weird fucker? weird man. Oh, that was fucking. That's scrolling through Twitter and seeing that with the like Rowley meme. Have you guys seen where he's like smiling and then looks down?
And then looks down. Yeah.
Scrolling through Twitter and seeing that tweet was like, what the hell is this guy saying, man?
Spoiler banner's up, so skip ahead if you don't want to be spoiled for Argylle.
Yeah,
but you don't need to see this movie.
Let's just run through it beat for beat.
Yep.
So basically, Bryce Dallas Howard's character, writer, right? She's writing these books. All of a sudden, gets on a train. Sam Rockwell is all like, "Hey, what's up? We need you because your books are real. Whatever." Fast forward, they start trusting each other. They go to like Arabia, right? To retrieve some passkey or something. She learns that maybe Sam Rockwell character is going to try to kill her because he's on the phone saying, "Hey, I'm going to kill her." And then later, and then she goes back to her parents' house where it's revealed, first plot twist, these are not her parents. Dun, dun, dun. And then Sam Rockwell shows up and he's like, "You take things too literally." Well, you said you were going to kill her, man.
Yeah, like I get it how it like worked in terms of being like, he's not actually meaning it based on what the reveal ends up being, but like it's no one would ever actually say that. The only reason they said it like that in the script is to like get shock value and make you think something's happening when it's not.
Exactly. So her parents aren't actually her parents. Her parents are the bad guys, right? Right.
Yeah, they're part of the what is it? The syndicate.
It's Brian Cox or not Bryan Cranston and who's Schitt's
Catherine
Creek.
O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara. Yeah, Schitt's Creek, not and Home Alone 2 or Home Alone 1, whatever. So next they travel somewhere else. They meet Mr. Samuel L. Jackson. And then it's revealed, big reveal, Bryce Dallas Howard's character is the real Agent Argylle. And get this, it's because her fucking name is Kyle or something. Fuck you.
Kyle, yeah.
Audibly laughed at the Kyle reveal to make it Argylle. Awful reveal. Boo. Boo, Matthew Vaughn.
We won't jump. Did you see the end credit scene?
Yeah.
Okay, because that kind of changes things a little bit for that comment, but we'll continue going.
Does it? Okay,
we'll wait till we get to the end.
And then it goes on and she's like getting her, it's one of those where like she doesn't remember anything and then all of a sudden she's remembering how to fight and like she's remembering how to fight. They send the code or something. They fight with, who is it? It's the girl from
Kingsman.
Rebel Moon and Kingsman
and Rebel Moon.
Yeah. Her name.
I just know her as Sword Legs from Kingsman.
Sophia Botella is like the bad guy, and they fight. And then I can't even remember. They like she goes back to being. They save the world, and she goes back to being a writer. What's up, bud? Did I miss anything like other than the post credits?
I love how like you spent like just 10 seconds wrapping up the final hour and a half. It's like Samuel Jackson, and then they saved the world in it.
Yeah,
you didn't even want to talk about the dancing smoke scene or the ice skating on oil. Those were some rough scenes.
Those were bad. Yeah. What's up? Oh, thank you. No, those were bad. Go explain those, because the dancing scene was like a image of Dua Lipa's dancing scene with Henry Cavill at the start. I'm feeding my son right now for those on YouTube. So Tyler, you give the ending synopsis.
So, well, first off, so when it really goes off the rails and gets super stupid is like when they're escaping from, I already forget, it's either the Division or the Syndicate. One of those two names, like the name of the big. big bad organization. The division. Okay, the big bad organization, which I was watching this in theaters and I was like locked in, as locked in as you can be in a theater. So I still don't really remember what like the stakes were of this movie or like what the division's intent was or like what this mysterious crypto key was going to do for them. So that's why like I never really felt any tension. Cause I was like, I don't really know. Like, is this division even bad after all? I mean, hey, what are they trying to do here? Like, I don't know if they're bad guys, but, so when they're escaping, her and Sam Rockwell, they use smoke grenades to basically it's a classic action trope of two people trying to escape. It's waves of like video game like security and military men coming to stop them. So they just light off probably 30 smoke grenades, all of different colors. It's like I'm sure this movie went into production before Creed 3 came out, but it's the same thing as Creed 3 where they're like, yeah, when this guy walks out of the ring, let's have like colored smoke grenades because it just looks cool on screen. It's like Matthew Vaughn.
Like when they blow up the heads in Kingsman, and they're all
right. Like, and I like Kingsman's Secret Service a lot, pretty much everything about it. And I just feel like Matthew Vaughn's kind of a one-trick pony at this point. He's just kind of rinse and repeating a lot of the stuff.
He had Kick-Ass. I don't know if you've seen Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass, the first one, is awesome. It's really, really awesome. And then he also had X-Men First Class, which is one of the best X-Men movies. Again, really awesome. And now he's lost.
I would say ever since Kingsman, he's been a one-trick pony in terms of just trying to recreate that magic every time with Kingsman 2, even the Kingsman, and then now Argylle. But that scene, the first scene didn't bother me a ton with like the dancing and the smoke if like it would have been way shorter, but it was like I felt it went forever of them just like dancing while killing people. And it was just corny. It was cringy. It was stupid. It just took me completely out of the film and just made me kind of lose all interest in it. The bare minimum that I still had at that point. But I mean, 30, 50 colored rainbow smoke grenades later, they get to a point where they're in kind of like a server room and they're kind of pinned down and trapped. And they start shooting at them, the villains, and they hit some oil drums. So oil spills all over the floor.
Yeah.
And then they kind of say like, no more shooting. Like if we shoot, this place is going to go up in flames because oil's everywhere. So they all take out their knives. So it's going to be a big knife fight. And Bryce Dallas Howard, the whole reason she doesn't remember that she's a spy, Kyle, is because she had a skating accident, is what people say. So then she asked Sam Rockwell, she's like, was the skating accident part real? And they're like, well, no, we made that up. But like, you actually were a great skater. So she's like, say less. Takes 2 knives, straps it to her boots, and starts ice skating on a cement floor covered in oil.
I'll be honest with you.
It's just, I don't really know like the physics of that, how you can ice skate on oil. Don't really think that would work, but they have a big knife fight similar to the smoke grenade scene. It just goes on for far too long. Like it would have been, maybe a little funny scene that I'd be like, this is stupid, but whatever. It's not really ruining my enjoyment of the film. But I swear that was like 10, 15 minutes of her just ice skating around in circles on an oil spill and slicing people with her knife feet. Matthew Vaughn is like a Quentin Tarantino of knives. Kingsman, he has a girl with knife legs. Now he's got knife feet. And Argylle, Matthew Vaughn, a big fan of blades on the lower extremities. But then after that fight, which was awful. So it's like the smoke fight was just so bad, cringe, awful. Couldn't wait for it to end. Then you go right into this. And then right after that, you get to the ship deck where they're on this horribly green screened naval ship. And they have a final fight where it's the same thing as like, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. But it's also something we've seen so many times in films where someone's being like brain controlled, even though they're lovers or best friends. One of them's being hypnotized to fight the other one like a machine, a robot, and kill them. Bryce Dallas Howard's hypnotized by Catherine O'Hara, which they did when she first lost her memory. So Catherine O'Hara's having Bryce Dallas Howard kill Sam Rockwell. So they're fighting. And then, Ariana DeBose comes in and saves the day and breaks the little spell box. And then Sam Rockwell and Bryce Dallas Howard make up and fall in love. And they kind of ride off to the sunset. And then Bryce Dallas Howard writes another book and kind of happy ending until like the post credits or the final clip. But before we get there, do you want to jump in with anything else, Cameron?
No, all of that, man. I think I don't know. I didn't care for any of it, but yeah, I just kind of skipped ahead. You're right. So I appreciate you giving a better synopsis than me. Mm-hmm. But the post credit scene. So just jumping. Yeah. First off, I just think the movie's dumb. I didn't, and it's something that I think will make good money and, people might enjoy. And so if you enjoy it, that's fantastic. Don't listen to me. I'm an idiot on like your computer screen. So like believe like what you like. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I just found this really dumb. Just didn't care for any of the action. But then moving to the post credit scenes, are we talking the like after credits or the mid credits scene?
I think it's the mid credit with the younger Argylle.
So Henry Cavill or the
so the very final part of the movie, the very final clip. So basically, I think we touched on this, or I was about to, but then I was like, I should save it for spoilers. So, like Dua Lipa, John Cena, and Henry Cavill are only in this movie as like an imagination of Bryce Dallas Howard because they're like the book characters.
Yeah.
So they're not real. But then the very final clip of the movie, you see Henry Cavill in the audience looking at Bryce Dallas Howard. She's like shocked when she sees him, kind of saying, okay, he's not like looking like the Argylle we've seen all movie. So it's kind of like, okay, this dude's real. And then we kind of find out like the mid credit or the post credit, I can't remember which one,
which by the way, set in the Kingsman universe. Right. It's at the Kingsman.
Which the whole movie, I was like, I can't believe they're not tying this into the Kingsman movies. Like, I'll give Matthew Vaughn props for that he didn't just kind of go for the cheap bait there. And then of course the post credit scenes tie it into it.
Also already has characters from the Kingsman universe in different roles. So.
Yep. A lot of them, because Sophie Patel, like you said, Samuel Jackson,
yeah.
Maybe that's just it. Maybe a whole two, but
still,
but yeah. But then in the post credit or mid credit scene, we see that like Henry Argylle as like a kid, or was also like so Henry Argylle's like, or Henry Cavill's a real dude. So like, how did that even like? That just made everything.
But is he Argylle? Is he Argylle? I can't.
But he's he is like an agent.
Okay.
Because like before I went to the film too, I saw like a discussing film where like someone tweets saying there's like going to be like a limited series about Argylle coming out, about a young Argylle, and it's very much like a younger guy. And then I was like, I thought we already just found out that Bryce Dallas Howard's the real Agent Argylle, so how's this going to work? But then like, so there's going to be a younger guy limited series about the younger version of Argylle, but like, is Henry Cavill actually Argylle? Like, I don't know, man. I didn't really follow anything that's happening.
It's a whole lot of, hey, we're just gonna throw this in. We'll figure it out later. In my opinion, like we'll just connect it later. It doesn't matter. Just get butts in seats, man.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson, very relatable. A lot of shit going on around him, but bro's just in his man cave watching Celtics Lakers very intently. Or I think that was the game, and he's just all the shit's going on around him. He's like, it's the third quarter right now. I can't be focused on this other stuff. Like this game is a good game here right now. We got to focus on this. It's a very relatable move by him. But again, like the big thing is like, so even all the silliness and stupid scenes aside from the movie, it just didn't have the stakes that made me interested or invested in the film. So that was kind of the big thing. Like I could probably put aside some of the silliness, and that's kind of a big thing with Kingsman. Honestly, the first Kingsman, I don't think even gets that silly until the final act. I think the first 2/3 when it's them in like the training academy is like a very serious movie for the majority of it, except for like the early scenes before he goes there. Yeah, the first 2/3 specifically, like the training is like some of my favorite movie content of all time. But yeah, it's just there's a lot of silly scenes, and beyond that, there's just not really that much of a plot. And the biggest thing is every spy thriller movie needs to have 1 or 2 plot twists. This one has like 10,
has 8,
and you just are rolling your eyes by the end of them, and you're just like, just
they get worse and worse as it goes because you're like, oh shit, another twist. But it's just awful. But the post, how does that tie into Argylle?
That's why I don't know. If like, is there multiple Argylles? Is it like the Kingsman where there's like there's an Argylle society?
I have no idea. Again, I think it's
in 2027. Are we going to see Argylle versus the Argylle society versus the Kingsman?
We might, but I thought that was setting up like a prequel because it's at the Kingsman's bar. Who cares, man? Who cares, Matthew Vaughn?
I don't know.
I think it was Sophie or Sydney who tweeted, I want to meet the one guy who was amped about the mid-credit scene in Argylle, and like, yeah, I want to meet them too because that's just insane.
I saw her TikTok review, like one of the top comments, like, you just didn't get it. And then she's like, she's like, what is he even to get with Argylle?
There's nothing to get. It's like so in your face, and they explain every twist. Just so dumb.
There was an old lady that walked out. There might have been more. I don't know. I was in like the front section of the theater just because I've been kind of liking that lately, sitting a little closer to the screen. Maybe I'm losing my eyesight, but there's an old lady sitting next to me, and she got up with like an hour left, and she did not make a return to the theater.
Yeah, honestly, smart. Do you have anything else to say? I got
Nope,
nothing.
that's it.
I appreciate you
Matthew
taking
Vaughn.
over on that.
He has great movies, great movies. But ever since Kingsman 1 came out, there's been a shift, and it's gone downhill in a big way. And then Henry Cavill might have lost it, folks. I think he might be over.
He's
for him.
about to have a resurgence. We'll talk about his resurgence soon.
Yeah, I don't know. Guy Ritchie hasn't had a hit for me in a long time, but we'll see. Maybe this is one. Maybe Tongue Boy will be exciting, but